And we're doing it live. Anyway, we are here at Cascade Bar and Grill. Sparrow, Wren, I haven't seen you in a minute, but it's really good to connect with you. A lot of stuff's been happening. I did definitely want to do a deep dive on your new music, but I also want to talk about you just bought. What do you want to call it as far as what you're touring with?
Yeah, so
is it just like a recreational vehicle or?
it's a camper. So I bought a touring camper so that I can start going to venues that are a little further away.
Okay, so like a small mobile home. I'm sorry, a small motorhome kind of a thing.
No, not really, because it doesn't have. It's a camper. It's like a touring camper, so it attaches to my car. It doesn't have its own engine.
Oh, it's almost like one of those famous teardrop-looking little campers you can pull behind a small car. I'm sure it's bigger than that, but you can tow it behind your Tesla. It has a sleeping quarters in it, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it has everything. It has a shower, and it has a
Oh my
toilet,
gosh, that's
and
awesome.
it has a kitchen, and it has a place to sit, and then
That is really cool.
Yeah, it has everything. It's about 1,800 pounds dry.
So this is funny because you have a Tesla. I'm sure you did the research because you're very thorough. How much is it going to reduce your range on the Tesla towing that?
Yeah, well, I couldn't really find a whole bunch. I figured that, so my Tesla has a 3,500 pound towing capacity.
Okay.
And so I wanted to stay under that.
And this is obviously less than half of that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I figured that if I stayed under that, that maybe I'd lose half my range.
So still 160, 170 miles maybe?
That's what I was hoping.
And assume, as long as you plan your trips, you'll be able to find quick charge stations along the way. Although let's hope that once you book your tour, let's hope you don't have to go more than 160 miles in between gigs.
Yeah.
That makes
right.
for a long day and you don't get much sleep.
Right,
So.
right. Yeah. So that was the plan, right? And
Okay.
I did look into this for about a year and a half before I pulled the trigger. And this was a camper that I kept coming back to over and over again. This is the one that I thought, I like it. It's the cutest. It's the lightest. It has everything in it. But the reality of the camper and the truth of the camper has proven to be a little different.
Oh, it's always when you make a purchase like that. There's always more than you know is gonna. The reality is gonna be different than your perception, I think.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take Maddie with you, obviously. But did you buy it new or did you find a good used one?
Found a really good used one. I found a really good used one that has a really interesting backstory, and it's only been used a handful of times. I got it from an estate.
Okay.
And it has some tragedy attached to it. Actually,
Oh.
It was the retirement plan for a very nice couple. I actually read a lot of stuff about this couple.
Okay.
And they worked hard, and then when they retired, their plan was to travel the U.S. in this camper. So they bought it brand new, and shortly after they bought it, she was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh,
And
Judas Priest, of course.
Yeah, and she passed away, and the day that she passed away, he killed himself.
Oh.
So
Well, I didn't know it was going to have that. Were they were retirement age, so 60s, 70s in their 70s, or do you even know how old they were? It's not important. But
I don't remember. Like, I read the stuff, like, that, I read, like, what they did in their lives. Like, they were, they did some work with other countries, helping other people in other countries, and,
Okay.
like, really good people.
So it sounds like, just losing his wife, it just broke his heart, and he didn't want to go on.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
so this was an estate sale. Was it out of state? Where'd you find it at?
The Dalles.
Oh, okay, not that far.
Yeah, and I actually, part of the reason that I was able to buy it is that the son of the couple actually loved the idea of the camper being used for this purpose.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And did you have to get a tow package for your Tesla, or you already had one, or?
When I bought my car, I got the tow package with it, with
Okay.
planning that this would be what I would do.
Okay, so you can put a tongue in. It's got a electrical connection for the trailer and all that stuff.
It
Nice.
does, but and I had test towed. Like, I had gone to a dealership, and I had attached the trailer because I thought about buying new also. And I'd pulled in, I thought, this was going to be okay. And then driving this thing back from the Dalles, like first hooking it up without anybody that knew how to do anything.
I wish I could have been there to help you. I have some experience, but
so somebody trying to be helpful actually broke the jack to get it attached.
You mean the jack where if you detach from it that holds it up?
The tongue jack, I think
Yes,
it's called.
yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so they forced it and broke the tongue jack.
Perfect.
And then when I did finally get it hooked up, then just the actual act of towing was like a lot harder than I thought. And lane changes.
How long is it, like foot-wise? 20 feet, 25?
Smaller than that.
Like maybe probably 15 or 16.
Probably
it's a real small.
about
It's
that.
tall. You can stand up in it, but it's short.
Yeah.
So it probably doesn't need to have like. Did you notice it like swaying and fishtailing a lot? If it's that short?
Not a lot, but all the cameras that I rely on, to do lane changes and stuff.
It interferes with
it. And so just remembering that I can't rely on any of the help that I get from my fantastic car. I have to actually use the mirrors. Like that's something. And planning way ahead to do a lane change so people don't get upset.
And I only thought of this because I was even texting you about this when Daniel was showing me his Tesla. Even if you wanted to spring for full self-drive mode, I think that would interfere with self-driving mode because the Tesla needs to have all the sensors and cameras available to do full self-drive. But if you're pulling a trailer, I don't think you can use self-drive.
No.
Oh.
Well, no, and I've tried self-drive and it's weird.
I don't know if you saw, I posted the video when Daniel took me for a short ride. It was weird, but it was super cool.
Yeah, weird and cool is a good way to say it. And I've been testing the self-drive for a while. I had like 30 days on it.
Okay.
And it's the weirdest thing, like to go into a parking lot and have this thing like navigate around people.
It
and
did
look for an
good,
empty, it
but
did
I was
really well.
nervous because I'm like,
Really
I feel like
nervous.
you're going to hit that person.
Yeah, I'm finding that my hands are like
yes.
it's a real exercise in trust is what it is.
Although you can make the argument that you could probably put more trust in that than some people.
Unfortunately true.
Unfortunately
That's
true.
Unfortunately probably true. Yeah.
So anyway, you did get it. You're happy with it, and it's going to take there's going to be a learning curve there, but this is going to allow you to go on the road, and it has room for all the gear you would need, because I'm assuming. Oh yeah, because your system is the system you bring just when you're doing your solo acoustic stuffs is actually it's not that big, luckily. And then if you book some bigger venues, you'll be able to just plug into the house PA.
I hope so.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the two there were a few surprises on the drive back. Like, I got the thing in my garage, and it was so traumatic. But by the time I got it there, like I just haven't done anything
Learning,
else.
there is a skill to backing up a trailer.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
yeah.
I wish I would have been there to videotape you backing that in.
Yeah, no.
That'd be awesome.
No.
All you have to remember is if you want the trailer to go right, you turn the steering wheel left. It's the opposite. That's all you have to remember.
Go slow.
Go very
Go
slow. And with a short trailer, the shorter the trailer, the quicker it's going to respond to any steering.
I
You
noticed.
probably know that. Yeah. If it's a long trailer, you got to really, yeah. So go very slow in small increments. But again, if you want the trailer to go this way, you turn the wheel to the left.
It was hard. Hard.
Were your neighbors out there watching?
I have no idea. It was just hard. And then I had to, the other thing I learned is that it doesn't calculate, even though it knows you're towing, it doesn't calculate for you towing. So I stopped in the Hood River and got a charge, and I got more of a charge than it said I needed. But then I still ran out and had to stop again in Troutdale. And
so it doesn't accommodate for the fact it'll show you the range as if you're not towing.
Yes.
Oh, so that's something you have to think about. And pretty much if you're traveling with that, every time you charge, go full charge. It sounds like.
I think so, yeah. And the other thing is that if you're not going to disconnect everything completely, which really isn't practical, especially not when your tow hitch thing, your hitch jack is broken.
Yeah.
You can't disconnect, and so the second time I charged, I had to wait until like an end one came open.
Because it's not easy to get into. You can't get into all the charging spaces.
Can't get into any of them. You have to back in to the chargers, and so I had to. You can't really do that with the trailer because it won't reach. No, it won't reach.
No, I know. I was just being a smart ass.
I know, because that's who you are.
I know. I'm sorry. Didn't you miss me?
Yes.
No, you're lying.
Yes. Oh, I did. I missed you.
So, but this is really exciting. You're getting set up, and I don't know if this ties into your Nashville trip, which I wanted to talk to you about, because I didn't realize that at first. I thought you were just going there to see Nashville and see all the music, but I'm starting to think did you go back there to kind of make some connections, and it was a career trip?
Yeah.
You did it for a reason. It wasn't just to go see a bunch of live music in Nashville.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I went for the singer-songwriter community, and I
Yes.
did make some connections.
Good.
And I did get an invitation to come back and audition at a singer-songwriter listening room.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And if I was in a place then when you went back, if I would have thought about it, I actually know a girl that has her own, I think she calls them song suffragettes. Her name's Haley Staten now. It used to be Haley Verholland, but she's back there doing the exact same thing. And if I would have thought about it, I would have reached out to her and said, hey, connect with Sparrow. You guys would get along great. But anyway, it was a productive trip.
It was, yeah. I really enjoyed the community there, especially off strip. This is the second time I've been to Nashville, and the first time I stayed on this strip, and I really enjoyed it. This time, on recommendation of friends, I connected and went to something called the Undie Fest.
But that's not on the main drag. It's outside of town.
It's
the Undie Fest.
Yeah,
is that something that happens regularly, or what is that?
Yes, happens once a year, and it's in East Nashville. And East Nashville is where a lot of really good, authentic, original stuff happens, as opposed to the Strip, where a lot of covers happen.
Oh.
And Undie Fest was like a Christmas miracle. I went the first time. It was 5 days long. The first day.
Where'd they get the name from? I'm not making the connection.
No, that's a good question. It's called the Underdog.
Oh.
So it's a tiny little place.
So Undie is short for underdog.
Yes.
Okay.
And they had 100 acts over 5 days, and so I ended up going for 3 of the days.
Okay.
And caught just amazing acts, like the kind of musicianship that everybody I saw, I was like, oh, I could see this now on Saturday Night Live.
So this was true singer-songwriter stuff. It
Gorgeous,
wasn't a
beautiful.
band doing covers. It was a bunch of songwriters that have brought their own music to perform in front of people.
100% original.
That sounds amazing.
It was incredible, and everybody just brought it, and everybody was so different.
So it wasn't just country. It was all kinds of music.
Yeah, no, I don't really think I saw any country. And it wasn't just, a person with a guitar. There was some of that, but everybody had their own texture to things. It was so inspirational. One guy that it was just him. Sometimes it was just him and his guitar. Sometimes it was him and his guitar and then a guy on the piano. It was these different configurations that
is
gave
awesome.
the show a lot of texture. And then at a certain point, there was this band called the Deltas that was playing, and they were incredible. And then they stopped, and they were like, hey, we want to bring up our good friend Jim. And Jim Belushi comes out.
Oh, my
and
God.
That's
awesome.
We're at a place it's a tiniest little dive bar.
Yeah.
And, it maybe seats 30, 40 people. Jim Belushi and his daughter are there.
That is so amazing.
And they go up, and he plays harmonica, he sings, his daughter sings. It was really cool.
So in addition to making some awesome connections, it also sounds like it maybe was inspiring. It gave you some inspiration.
It was so inspirational.
And then you came back and bought a trailer.
I did.
You're like,
yeah.
I'm fucking doing it. Sorry for cursing.
Beep.
Yeah. Yes. I do. I don't think I did this. I do want to give a shout out because they're looking at us, and I don't know if they're waiting on you. So we are at Cascade Bar and Grill. They are starting an open mic thing. I think it's going to be every Sunday.
Every Sunday
at 8
beginning
p.m.
at 8, yeah.
Okay, so this is cool because I want to get the word out if we can, and hopefully through everybody that follows Sparrow, and I'll do the best I can. But seems like I love the place. I've seen a ton of bands here on the weekends. Usually it's full bands, but this is cool. So, and Cascade Bar and Grill has been very accommodating. Casey is the host at this one every Sunday night, 8 p.m., and they're letting us set up and record, and Sparrow's going to play some music tonight. If I have one more drink, I might play some music. Again, I made the joke that you invited me here so you could follow me because I'm going to make you look like a glass of water after a week in the desert. Yes.
So not true.
So
So
anyway,
not true.
but they were are they? Did you already sign up? Are they waiting for you, or do?
I don't think
Because
they're
they keep looking
waiting.
over at us, and I don't. Nobody else is playing. So,
Well,
so
there was nobody on the sign up sheet when I was over,
did
so
you
I
already sign
I
up
didn't
though?
put my name on. No.
Oh, I can pause. Do you want to go put your name in and let them know you want to perform, or?
Well, do you want to pause to see if they're waiting for us?
Yeah, sure. Let me pause it real quick. I
Okay.
learned how to do
We're
that.
pausing.
And we're live again. Well, that felt longer than 15 minutes. I guess we only. Didn't it seem like we talked longer than 15 minutes? But it was only. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. All right. So Nashville, a great inspiration. And whatever you want to talk about, if you had some topics. But I know you're writing new music. You went up and did some studio recording, but you also have recently found a new, more local studio that's going to be a better
Yeah.
fit for you.
Yeah, probably. So that's you had mentioned that we're at Cascade tonight
Mm-hmm.
for an open mic, and that's what I want to do tonight is test drive some new music. So
Okay.
I have 7 new songs that
Oh,
are.
you have been busy.
I have been busy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did I know at least one of them came before your Nashville trip, but have several come after the Nashville trip, or were you already working on these 7 kind of before?
Yeah, so I have 7 independents and then 2 additional that are co-writes.
Okay.
So 9 new songs altogether.
That's another album.
That's another album, right?
Wow,
So
you've been
that's-
busy.
I have been busy. So they're from different stages. The last CD came out February of this year, and
Yeah, that was Feather and Fur.
yeah,
Yes. I
Yeah.
think I heard a little bit about that.
just a smidge.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so a lot's happened since then. Like I actually had to like cross-check myself to think like, did that come out, in 2023? Because it seems like it's been more than a year.
Oh, a lot's happened between the release of that album and now,
A
so you're
lot's
almost like,
happened.
God, was it just that recently?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just that recently, like, including like I went to Europe for a month.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was
Mhm.
like, I can't believe that like that came out and then went to Europe for a month. Am I too far away?
I just want a little, but I don't want you to feel like you have to lean in. I want you to be comfortable. But yeah, because mine is going touching the orange, and yours is staying in the green, which is fine. It's going to come through just fine.
I can try to be
And
louder.
wow, and thank God we're using dynamic mics because it won't pick up all the ambient noise. So
Okay.
that's why I didn't want to just do like a studio USB mic. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting
You
technical.
have
I don't want to get
good
lost in the
gear.
weeds here.
Okay. So
go
yeah.
ahead.
So my process is I write every day. So every morning I write something.
Okay.
And it's not because I tell myself I need to write something. It just comes out of my morning process.
Yeah.
So every morning I write something, and if I get myself together or I get really excited about what I wrote, then that turns into something that's a little more well developed, and if I can get some chords and lyrics and a rhythm around it, I'll walk it out. I walk and I record it on my phone to put some structure behind it, and then if it survives that process, because a lot of stuff gets shaken out, right?
Yeah.
If it survives that process, then I write down the chords and the lyrics and I chart it out, and then I set it aside. And that's my process. So
I love that you have that much of a process, number one. I love that you understand. It seems like you understand your process. And I love that you have that many checks and balances or filters or gates that it has to go through. So I'm assuming there are some mornings you write every morning. There's some mornings you write something and it just doesn't catch you. So then you go about your day and your job and your business. But other mornings you probably write something and you're like, oh yeah, there's something there. Then you get inspired and you're like, I need to put some chords to this.
right.
Then I'm gonna try to get a melody to it, and then I'm gonna try to. So some things, and some of those ones that were non-starters, you might come back to them 6 months later and find something for it. I'm assuming, but
Right.
not every day is going to be the best thing ever. But every now and then you write something that catches you,
Right.
and then you spend the rest of the day. you start canceling plans because I got to work on this, right?
Kind
Is
of,
this
yeah.
true?
That's kind of true, right? So, I try to not force it, but sometimes like this morning, I wrote down some stuff and I like it, but it doesn't really have a structure to it, and I didn't get any rhythm or chords around it.
Okay.
Sometimes the melody just kind of comes with the lyrics, and
Right.
and something is like, yeah, I like the concept, I like the subject, and I can hear the cadence, and then that gets more developed. Sometimes, stuff goes through a process, and then I lose interest in it, and there might just be some nuggets in there as far as different conceptual things that I still want to explore, so I'll cannibalize the lyrics for another
Okay.
song. So that's kind of what it looks like. So it's kind of hard to say, like, how new this stuff is, because the process, the stages something goes through, always takes a while. And I think for me, the fermentation stage is one of the most important. So if I fall in love with it and I put it down in a chord progression and type it all out and record it on my phone and then set it aside,
Okay.
I have to come back to it after some time has gone by, and sometimes that's a month, sometimes that's
So you almost need to let it age, like wine in a cask.
yeah,
Okay.
because then it gives me a different perspective on it. So I
Oh,
can
when you come back after 2 or 6 or 8 months, if you revisit it, you're going to have a different perspective on it,
correct, yeah,
and new life experiences, obviously,
right.
to maybe apply to that idea.
Right. And is it still valid, or was it just something I was going through that day, right? Because I have a
Yeah.
tendency.
Was it a bad date? This is
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Right.
probably shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
Well, all right. So I date, right? And so, the stuff that comes out of dating is
Some of the best writing material ever. Thank God for bad dates.
well, but they can't all be Avril Lavigne songs.
Oh, don't make me go into that. I'm not going to do it on the podcast right now or this interview, but I might, if I get on stage, I might call you out for the Avril Lavigne thing. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, tell me what you mean.
I just love the fact that you thought you were going to see Alanis Morissette,
Oh.
and Avril Lavigne came out popping bottles of champagne, and you're like, "What?
Wait.
I paid for this?"
Wait, I know. That is pretty funny. All right. I think it's really unfair that Avril Lavigne and Alanis Morissette have that similar of names.
They're both Canadian, and they're both amazing.
And they were both touring at the same time,
yes,
right?
as they should.
All right. So
And so the kick in the gut to me is I would have killed to be at that Avril Lavigne concert, and you were disappointed.
yeah, I was so disappointed.
'Cause I love Avril Lavigne.
Say that. I had such a good seat too.
No,
I had
it
such a
wasn't
good
that.
seat.
You just thought you were seeing Alanis, so
Yes.
it's fine that you were disappointed.
Yeah. I kept thinking, when's she coming?
Oh, that's cute. She's got some new young artist opening up for her. When's Alanis coming out?
Yeah, I think when the backdrop said, Avril Lavigne. I
Oh,
think that
so
was,
you knew who it was.
That was
Okay.
my oh shit moment.
Because that's 9 p.m. That would have been about 9 p.m. when the headliner goes on, and you're
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, there's nobody after this.
I
I think it's Avril.
I was there by myself, and I had this awesome seat, right? I was right on an end, ready to dance and ready to
Yep.
enjoy it. And then that happened, and I stood there and laughed all by myself.
You're just giggling. I can hear
Yeah.
it now.
I was laughing all to myself. I was thinking, I bet I'm the only one that just
Just realized they're at the wrong concert.
At the wrong concert, yeah. And then Alanis Morissette actually was playing the Moda Center just a few weeks later. I could have gone.
But you didn't?
I didn't know. I already spent my money on Avril Lavigne, by golly. And
This is such a happy accident because I freaking love Avril Lavigne. And this is called immersion therapy. Since you got to see her live, after you get over, it might take a few years. After you get over the disappointment, you might come to appreciate her music.
Well, it's not that I don't appreciate it. It's just that it's not what
I'm
I
not.
was expecting.
I know.
Yeah,
I
because
know.
and I think I just said Avril Lavigne. They can't all be like Avril Lavigne songs. But the truth is, I didn't even mean that. Like they can't all be Alanis Morissette because almost everything I
Oh,
write
right.
is Jagged Little Pill.
Right.
Everything from my dating experiences tended to be something from Jagged Little Pill.
So everything is either ironic or you ought to know.
Yeah, mostly you ought to know.
Yeah. Yes. And by the way, I'm going to say this for posterity purposes. You are not an asshole, Josie.
Oh, thank you.
not.
I still think that could be a good T-shirt for
That's
all
good.
of us.
That's actually going to be. It's funny. I was thinking about that. I'm going to get you that. And I kept telling you I'm going to do this, but I'm going to get it for you for Christmas.
Well, I'm excited to say I'm getting merch.
Okay, so that's cool. Do you have a connection that can make it affordable? And did that happen in Nashville or out here somewhere?
Out here somewhere. So
Okay.
I haven't seen the dollars yet, but I have a design for a shirt that I've been thinking of for a while.
All right.
And it's Sparrow, Wren. Mess with the bird, get the beak.
Did you come up with that?
Yes.
Or did you pay like a marketing agency?
Do you like it?
I like it.
Yeah, mess with the bird, get the beak, baby.
Seriously, that's amazing.
Get the beak.
That is really good. I like it. You should. And do you have an image or an insignia or something to go with it?
Yeah.
Probably just a beak poking the hell out of somebody.
Well, no, because
No.
that would take like
I know.
animatronics
I
that
know,
would
but
be a little expensive in
I
the shirt.
like it. That's really good, actually.
Thank you. So I'm having some shirts made, and I'm having a lady shirt with some lycra, so it's a nice fit. Because I hate buying like men's cotton shirts at concerts because I never
Okay.
wear them. So something that's actually fitted for women, and then a nice cotton shirt for men, and then right now just trucker hats.
That's really cool, actually, though. Down the line, if you could get one in a hoodie, I'm a big hoodie guy.
Ooh, yeah.
But also, this one, you just mentioned the unisex thing. So I just went and saw Maggie Rogers, represent Maggie Rogers. She's amazing. I just went and saw her
That
at the.
is subtle. Is that what?
Yes.
What is that?
That's her. That's her face, but it's very subtle.
That is very
It's
subtle.
amazing. So I just went and saw her at the Moto Center a few weeks ago, and my friend Julie from Bend introduced me to her last year. We went and saw her at Edgefield, and I instantly was like, oh my God, I love her music. But so this, I was so inspired at the concert that I was like, I don't have any swag. I have to go buy one. And the girl was like, I was like, so do you have a men's like XL? And she's like, oh, they're all unisex. And I'm like, no, don't do that. You can't make merch
Can
unisex.
I touch that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like a really nice weight, although it feels cottony.
Right. But you can't. I don't like that they do unisex sizes. I mean, this long sleeve shirt, they should make it into female size and a male size. And I love it. But I'm like, really? I don't think a girl that says XL is gonna want this. It's gonna be too big for her.
I don't know. It's I only have my own perspective, and I know when I get a shirt, if I'm actually gonna wear this shirt, it has to have like a nice feel,
Right.
and a little bit of like a V-neck or a scoop neck,
Yeah.
and a little bit of lycra so it fits well. Otherwise, I just never wear it.
Right. And you're right. It's pretty soft material. I love this, but I don't feel like most women would want to wear this. It's kind of looks sloppy on a female. Maybe I'm probably overthinking it. Let's get back to your music. Anyway, Maggie Rogers, it was a great concert, yada, 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 but we're talking about Sparrow.
Okay, all right. So I think all of that to say I'm test driving some of those new songs tonight here.
And also you have a place that, are they going to kind of do like a test run of some merchandise, some swag for you as far as shirts and hats? Are you going to do like a short test run, see how you like it, and what the cost is to like mass produce it kind of a thing?
Well, mass produced for me is 25 pieces.
You didn't have to say, dude. I am trying to make you appear big, and you keep
Yeah.
you keep being honest.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
a flaw. We're
I'm
gonna have to
be
work on
honest.
that.
Yeah,
And
humility
I'm kidding.
is an
I'm kidding.
important
It's good that
attribute.
you're honest.
Yeah.
But you're gonna team up with them maybe and do it like a short run of some merchandise, and you
Yeah.
can have it for your shows. And obviously, if you go on tour, and if you're happy with it, then maybe do more.
Yeah, if people like it, then then I'll do some more stuff. I'd like to do a fedora also.
That was kind of what you're wearing. Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. This is like a little bit of like a.
It's almost like a female fedora.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not everybody can wear a fedora.
No,
so
I definitely can't because my head is weird shaped. So, but it's
give
a
it
cool.
a try.
No, I am not doing that on camera. All right, I'll show you how dumb it looks. And by the way, I have a big head, so it's not gonna fit.
Actually, I think that works.
No, it doesn't.
That's pretty mad cool, actually.
So that is Sparrow making fun of me.
No, I really mean
No,
it.
it
I thought
doesn't.
it looked good.
I just don't. I can do actual baseball hats, not trucker hats. I hate those, but like a really nice baseball hat, I can do that. I just have to pull the bill down. But pretty much other than that, no hats work on my head because I have a very long head and it's kind of narrow, so most hats don't fit on my head.
You're very head self-aware.
Well, okay, look in the camera. You look amazing, and the light is shining up my big bald head, and I'm just getting washed out. And I should have wore a hat because I think it's shading you.
Well, it looks like we're starting, so we better
Yeah, we
go.
can. We're gonna pause it because our first open mic participants here at Cascade Bar and Grill is starting. This is gonna be awesome. A shout out to Casey for hosting it, and thank you again, Sparrow.
Thank you. It's so good to
It's
see
really
you.
good to talk to you, and we can do more of this. But I'm really excited about your new music. I'm really glad that you have a trailer that you can do a tour. And once you book this, let us know. We're going to promote it.
Thank you.
Fist bump.